Hi, thanks for joining me. Let's start in a kneeling forward bend. So put out your mat or your blanket, bring your feet together, sit on your feet, take your knees apart and stretch forward. If that's not comfortable for you for your knees, then you can put a cushion there, or you can simply have the legs straight back, tuck your toes under and stretch forward like this. So your hips are going slightly back, but they're not going all the way to your heels. So that's a version for those who find it difficult to kneel. Otherwise, sit on your feet, knees apart, and lengthen the sides of your trunk forwards, reach your arms forwards. So when we first start practicing yoga, you want to create the shapes. Learn to create the shapes of the postures and find some sense of ease within it. Some obviously are easier to do than others, but see whichever posture you're in that you kind of settle into a sense of comfort or ease. So it's not just a struggle the whole way through. See if there's an element of relaxation within each posture, even if it's a strong posture. And then gently come up. So let's go to a leg stretch now. So grab a belt. If you don't have a belt, a bathrobe belt or a scarf or even a hand towel are quite good. So we'll begin with the leg stretches. Lie on your back. Oh, the other way. That's better. So have both knees bent. Then bend your right knee into your chest and stretch the right leg to the ceiling. Make sure that the leg is straight. So for some of you, the leg will be more like there, but make sure that it's straight. So learn how to contract the thigh muscle and stretch the calf to the foot. So straighten the leg. Learn to contract the thigh muscle so that you can open up the back of the leg. Bend your knee, place the foot down, change legs. Stretch the leg. So you want to bring the leg to 90 degrees, but not further. So you're starting wherever you are, and the more you practice, the more you'll be able to get the leg to 90. So within this position, yes, there might be a lot of stretch in the back of the leg if you're stiff, but see if you can do it without struggle. So just be in the posture, engage the frontal thighs to the hip, stretch the calf to the foot, and then just check the rest of your body to make sure that you're not creating excess tension, that you're not gripping in your jaw or your eyes. And then release. So now with both legs straight. So just watch this little way of straightening the legs. So your feet are together, you're going to hold the mat, and then you just slide backwards slightly. What that does is it draws the top buttock flesh towards your feet, and it also draws your shoulder muscles towards your waist. So try it now. So hold the mat and then slide back towards your head. And it gets you this traction, which is really helpful, drawing that shoulder muscles down and the buttock flesh down. And now slide your legs straight along the mat. So do it with resistance as well, so that encourages that lengthening in the buttock flesh and that opening in the front of the pelvis. And then let's stretch the leg again. So bend your knee into your chest. And keep that left leg pressing strongly down as you bring your right knee in. And then stretch the leg straight. Now this leg on the floor, try and keep the foot upright. Don't let it go to sleep. you find that difficult, just slide the leg out to the side a bit so that the foot can be straight up, perpendicular to the floor. Notice how your left thigh is not touching the floor. Mine isn't either, but what we're trying to do is press the front of the thigh down to the bone, and the back of the thigh spreads and presses down towards the floor. Spread both feet, engage the leg muscles. Keep your chest broad, face relaxed. So again, in this position, can you create the shape of the posture, do the actions required to make the shape, but then have some element of relaxation. So there's a balance between doing and being. If you're more able, you can continue to take the leg a bit closer to you, but make sure that you're pressing the root of the thigh away so that you're not distorting the level of the hips. So in this posture, you're looking for straight legs and thinking left leg down, right thigh back, right foot up. And then release the leg a little bit, bend the knee, take the belt off and bring the foot down, and then bend the other knee again, and let's now do the left leg. So let's slide back just to make sure we got that traction, slide the leg straight on the mat, keep the right leg where it is, bend the left leg into the chest, bend the knee, then pressing the right thigh down, stretch the left leg up, and then slide your right leg along the mat out to the right a little bit so that the foot can be upright. Notice how the foot wants to flop over to the right. Roll the thigh in, roll the leg in so the knee points to the ceiling and the toes point straight to the ceiling. And now press the right leg down and stretch that left leg. Keep your chest broad. Spread the feet. Engage the thigh muscles to open up the backs of the legs. So there's a doing to create the shape, so you're engaging the thigh muscles to straighten the legs. You're bending the elbows to take the shoulder bones down to the floor to keep the chest broad. But then within this, see if you can soften. Soften any kind of gripping in the head, in the brain. Let your body start doing the actions. Let the muscles work and let the brain be clear, but without tension, without gripping. And then if you intensified the leg stretch on the other side, do that now. So press that left thigh away from you and start to draw the leg towards you. Keep pressing the right thigh down as you draw the leg towards you. Right thigh down, right thigh down. Spread the right foot. Left thigh back. Spread the left foot. Again, make sure that this waist is not creeping up, so keep the hip away from the waist. And then release the leg a little bit, bend the knee, take the belt off, and then bring the foot down, bend the other leg. Now roll over to your side and come onto all fours. This is called Chaturanga, 4 limbs. So 1, 2, 2 hands and 2 shins. make sure that your shoulders are directly above your hands, and then get used to spreading the palms, stretching out those thumbs, which can tend to get bent, especially that knuckle. Try and straighten out the thumbs as best you can, and learn to bring your weight onto the hands so your shoulders are directly over the hands. And if you've had any shoulder injury, you may want to start doing this with your hands on a wall rather than on the floor. So just learning how to spread the palms flat on a wall and straightening the elbows. So it's not weight bearing, but otherwise coming to here. And then notice that your abdomen is not dropping, so don't let the abdomen drop. Lift up the waist. So we're going to stretch out that right leg. So stretch the right leg back. And can you press the thigh to the ceiling? Just like you pressed the thigh to the floor a moment ago, can you press the thigh to the ceiling? Have you disturbed the rest of your posture? Can you maintain it? Stable, so this right hip, don't let it drop. Stretch your chest forwards, and then see if you can now raise that right leg up without dropping the right waist. So really strong work to get that leg up. Press the thigh up, spread the foot. Try to lift the inner thigh up. And then down, then the other leg. Stretch the leg back. Raise the leg up, again, inner thigh up. Push the foot as if the foot was on the wall. Make the leg strong, so really firm that kneecap, that left knee, make it really firm. Press the thigh to the ceiling. Be careful that you're not leaning on this right hip. And then down. Now we're going to do a pointed foot. So stretch the right leg back, extend the foot, so point the toe slightly, so you're lengthening the front of the ankle. And raise the leg, so the foot's sharp like a pencil. Make the legs sharp like a pencil. Tighten the knee. Make sure that the leg is not going higher than the hip. And down, then the other side. Sharp like a pencil. Long, long, long. Stretch the thigh to the foot. Chest forwards. Okay, and then just have a break from your arms and grab your belt and come up to standing. So there's a few sound effects around. Sorry about that. We got sweeping the leaves off the road. We got someone either fixing their boat or building a bungalow. But anyway. Few birds. So let's carry on. Shoulder stretches now. So hold your belt shoulder width apart. Join your feet together. Spread the soles of your feet. Make your legs firm. Again, press those thighs back. Stretch your arms forward and then take them up to the ceiling. Or bring your arms down. And again. So be on your heels, press your thighs back, stretch your arms forwards and up. So you're opening the armpits, you're lifting the armpits up, but you're drawing the shoulder muscles down. See if you can get that. So lifting up the front of the armpit, the outsides of the arm, but drawing the insides of the arm, the shoulder muscles down. And then lower your arms. So if your arms are more like this shape, so you could go and do this in front of the mirror so you can see. If your arms are like this and your elbows are wide, just take your hands wider on that belt so it's more like a V shape. So then you'll be able to make the arms straight, because we're trying not to do this. We're trying to engage the outsides of the arms and straighten the arms and get a lift in the chest. So come down, let's do it one more time. So take your hands as wide as you need to on the belt and look straight ahead, not at the screen, and then stretch up and feel how this work in the arms is bringing a real lift in the chest, a brightness, a lightness to the chest space. And those shoulder blades are pressing into the back and going down. Now breathe into this space, into this lightness. And bring your arms down. Now buckle your belt. If you don't have a buckle, then you can repeat what we just did. So you're going to place the belt around your wrists. Again, stretching the arms up. So push out against the belt to activate the arms, and then stretch up. From your feet, stretch your arms up and bring your arms down. So we're going to do 3 of these, trying to get some openness in the chest. So stretch the arms up and back and down, and again up and back and down, and again up and back and down. Great. And then take your belt off. So another thing that's really helpful, especially if you're recovering from shoulder injury, is this hand to the wall. So earlier I suggested spreading the palms and having the hands flat on the wall and standing tall. So this is one version. But the one I was mainly wanting to share with you now is taking the hand to the side. So with your left hand, spread your palm, place your hand on the wall, and really stretch out your fingers. And you'll notice to get the hand on the wall, your elbow bends. Have the hand at shoulder height. But then see if you can lift the front of the shoulder and take the back of the shoulder down. So there's this rotation of the arm. So you're lifting the front of the arm and descending the back of the arm, lifting the front of the shoulder, descending. So if the shoulder's like this coming forward, we're trying to get this area to lift and the arm to turn, as if you're trying to turn your hand clockwise, that way. But just have their fingers pointing to the ceiling for now. So press your hand onto that wall and feel this lift in this chest, and try and straighten the arm. And then gently release. Turn around and let's do the other arm. So place your other hand at the wall. Try not to lean into the wall, so find a correct distance. Spread your palm, straighten your arm. So you're lifting the front of the shoulders kind of rolling up. Front of the arm is rolling up. The bicep is rolling up, and the tricep is firm to the bone. Spread that palm, stretch out your thumbs, and stretch the other arm down in Tadasana. So you're getting that lovely breadth across your chest, waking up this chest area. Allow your eyes to be open yet soft. Make sure you're not forcing. Go really gently, and then exhale to release. Great, so let's move on to downward facing dog posture now. So if you're recovering from a shoulder injury and you cannot bear weight, then continue to do that shoulder work with the hand on the wall. But if you can start bearing some weight now, then place your hands on a chair or a bench, or go into another room, place your hands on the stairs. And you can choose the height that's right for you. I'm going to use this support, so I'm going to have my bum to you. So you place your hands on the height, step back, and stretch back. So that sort of height is good for starters. And then you may find you can go to a slightly lower height. So I'm going to do it on this height. So hands on, come up, and then try a different height or repeat on that height. So if you've got stiffness in the shoulders but you don't have an injury, go for something more like this height, or have your hands on blocks. And can you press your arms back as you move your shoulder blades in? So let's do 3 goes. So inhale, exhale, shoulder blades in, and again exhale, shoulder blades in, and again exhale, shoulder blades in, and then come out and stand up. So let's whiz through a few standing postures before I introduce you to Salabhasana. So make sure I don't spend too long on this. So stand in Tadasana. Feel this lift that you've cultivated in your chest. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Bring your hands to your chest, bend your knees and step your legs wide, or you can jump. So stepping is really important for those who are much older, or if you've got a sore back, or problems with your back, if you've got problems with your knees, menstruating. So really listen and see what works for you today, where you're at, what you need to be doing. And also if it's roasting hot, it's good to step. So lift your chest, but if you're tired and young, jump the legs apart. Sometimes it's just a bit of tiredness. So stretch your arms, turn the left foot in, turn your right leg out. So turn the top of the thigh. And as you go into the posture, focus on that turning of the thigh. So breathing, turning the thigh, turning the thigh, turning the thigh, bring your hand down, turning the thigh, come up. And again, so now we're going to keep the turning of the thigh, but we're also going to add moving the buttock in. Turning the thigh, move the buttock in. Turning the thigh, move the buttock in. Turning the thigh, move the buttock in. And then one more thing to add, we're going to press the left foot down, left thigh back. So turn the thigh, buttock in. Left foot down, left thigh back. Turn the thigh, buttock in. Left foot down, left thigh back. Be in the posture. Turn the thigh, buttock in. Left foot down, left thigh back. Come up, feet forwards. Bring your arms down and then step your legs together. And just feel the effect of that posture. Try and let go of any tension. If there's tiredness, just allow your body to recover its normal breathing pattern. So in between each posture, just come back to this sense of being. You know, like when you go for a walk, you pause to look at a nice tree or look at a view, and then resume walking again. Similarly, have this in your yoga practice. Moments of quiet. Now let's do the left. So bring your hands in, step your legs apart, arms wide, chest up. Make your arms sharp. Turn the right leg in, left leg out. So turn the left thigh out. Turn the left thigh out, all the way to the root of the thigh as you bring the hand down. Left thigh out, and stretch up to the seat. Turn the left thigh out, and come up. Adding moving the buttock in, left thigh out, buttock in. Left buttock in, left thigh out, left buttock in. Hand down, hand up. Left thigh out, left buttock in. Stretch the arms. And come up. And now the back leg, so making sure the weight is on this leg as well. So right foot down, right thigh presses back. Left thigh out, left buttock in, right foot down, right thigh back. Left thigh out, left buttock in, right foot down, right thigh back. Keep the thigh muscles engaged and breathe. Firm your legs, come up, turn your feet, hands in, and join your legs. Now warrior two, bend your knees, legs wide, left foot in, right leg out. So focusing on the rotation of the thigh again. Right thigh, rotate it out. Notice as you rotate the thigh out, that it means the knee is now more in line with the second toe rather than coming forward. And come up. And again, right thigh out. Rotate the thigh so the whole thigh rotates out. come up, and again. So we're rotating the thigh out and getting the leg to be at 90 degrees if possible. So take your legs further apart if your knee is coming further than your ankle. And again, right thigh out, buttock in, make a square. And come up. Rest your arms, other side. Exhale, rotate the thigh out, and come up. So make a square. Rotate the thigh out, and make a square. Come up. One more time, inhale. Exhale, rotate the thigh out, make a square, straight back leg, straight arms, chest up, and come up, feet forwards, and join your legs. So again, recover in Tadasana. We'll do a stretch up the wall just to kind of quieten the heart down in case you're feeling a bit tired already. So place your hands up on the wall, step back a bit, have your feet apart, and then stretch your hips back. And as you do that, you'll feel some lengthening happening in your lower back. And then step forwards and come up. Great, so we're going to go to warrior number 1 now, and it'll probably be our last standing posture now. Yep, that's almost been 10 minutes. So bring your hands into your chest, bend your knees, step your legs apart, arms wide, chest up. And bring your hands to your hips so we can organize the turn of the legs and the trunk. So turn your left foot in, bring your right heel in and turn the toes out. And then there's a turning which needs to happen in your hips and in that back thigh. And then you end up a little bit sort of facing on an angle. Then you just need to turn that back foot a tiny bit more so that you can bring the pelvis round just that little bit more so you're facing the side. So what were we doing in the previous posture? Back leg was back thigh to the ceiling. You know when we were doing the leg stretches? Thigh to the ceiling. Now you may think, oh, my leg is straight. But even if you look at my leg, it might look slightly straight, but it's not, it's bent, the thigh is hanging. So press the thigh to the ceiling. So keeping the back leg straight, bend the front knee. And come up, keeping the back leg straight, bend the front knee. And again, keeping the back leg straight, bend the front knee. And with the arms up, keeping the back leg straight, bend the front knee. Doesn't matter if the heel slightly lifts, but keep the back leg straight, bend the front knee, make a square. Arms down, face the front, other side. So turn your right foot in, your left leg out, and turn a bit more so you're facing the side. Just watch that your alignment is heel to heel, heel to heel. Turn that pelvis right around. And then keeping your hands on your hips for the first one, so back leg straight, bend the front knee. And again, come up, keep the back thigh pressing up to the ceiling, bend the front knee. And up, back thigh, press it to the ceiling, bend the front knee. Now with the arms up, as if you've got that belt there, lift the chest, feel how the arms are lifting the chest, the side trunk. Back leg straight, make a square. And be in the posture. Breathe. And come up. Arms down. Face the front. And step your legs together. So just pause and emotionally just give yourself a little pat on the back. Because you've just done Warrior 1, which is a very stimulating and strong posture. Okay, let's go to our downward facing dog posture again. So place your hands up on a height, on a couple of bricks, or back onto that chair. If you're using a chair, make sure it's against the wall, and then step back. Enjoy that openness in your chest. Press those shoulder blades in. Thighs back, just like your warrior one. Thighs back, firm the kneecaps. And step forwards to come up. And we did upward facing dog posture in a few videos back. And I used the bench, so it's a great opportunity to do that now. Upward facing dog posture. So grab a chair, put it against the wall. If you're more able, feel free to do it on the floor or with blocks. So you're going to place your hands on that support, feet back, and then keeping your knees tight, swing your pelvis forwards, roll your shoulders back. And then bring your hips back and stand up. So we'll do it a few more times. If you have not quite sure, have a look at me doing it on the floor. So your pelvis is back, you're in with your hands up on the chair, and then you're going to swing your pelvis forwards towards the chair, towards your hands, or forwards towards your hands if you're on the floor. Knees straight, knees firm, thighs firm, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog, and then step forwards to come up. Okay, so grab your belt, place it around your wrists, shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart. Now straighten your legs, lift your side trunk, and hip your arms slightly back. So shoulder bones back, press the arms back. So make sure this is not hurting. If you're recovering from a shoulder injury, really be careful that you just gently bring movement and don't strain. Shoulder blades in, chest up, shoulders back. And then release. So we're going to do this lying on our tummy. Often the pubic bone's quite sore on the ground, so feel free to put a blanket there. But I'm going to try on the ground. Okay, so stretch your legs back. So remember when we were, just leave your belt for a second. So remember when we were on our knees in that chaturanga, stretch your thighs back towards your feet. Remember we had those pencil sharp legs. Again, stretch your thighs back towards your feet. Just do both of them one at a time. So that the tops of the thighs are really long towards the feet. Then press your hands down and just lengthen the front of your pelvis to your chest. Okay, so now take your belt, keep your legs on the ground, place your belt around your wrists, or if that feels uncomfortable, just hold the belt, and then lift your chest and roll your shoulders up. So your legs are down on the floor, Salabhasana, but just half of the posture, legs down, chest up. So your chest is going forwards, your shoulder bones are coming up to the ceiling, the arms are pressing slightly up. Try and get these shoulder bones to move. And rest. And again, lift up. And rest. Fold your arms, rest your forehead, relax your feet. So now we're going to work the legs before we add the two together. So stretch your feet straight back. Again, make your legs sharp like a pencil, and just rest your forehead on your hands. Then stretch your right leg back and lift it slightly off the floor. Make the knee firm, leg completely straight. Keep that left hip on the ground as you raise. I think I said left leg. Well, anyway, raise the leg and keep the knee tight. Keep the pelvis on the ground. And down. Then the other leg. Pelvis on the floor, raise that leg. But make it straight. So push, engage that thigh muscle as you stretch the foot away from you. So it's not about height, it's about accuracy. So simply think straight leg, firm thigh. Ready? Let's do one more each side. So left leg, straight leg, firm thigh. And down, other leg, straight leg, firm thigh, and down. So come on, let's see if we can do the whole posture, and we're just going to do it twice. So hold your belt in your hands. Roll your shoulders up away from the floor, lift your forehead off the floor now, and then buttocks down and legs straight. Lift the feet, chest up, buttocks down, pelvis down, buttocks firm, legs straight, knees firm, chest up. And down, breathe out. Once more, buttocks down, legs straight, lift up. And release, and then fold your arms, relax your heels out to the side, spread the backs of your thighs, allow your buttocks to spread. And then press your hands into the floor. What would be the easiest way? Yeah, I think the easiest way is to just bend. Well, actually, if you've got shoulder injury, you won't be able to do that. So let's just roll over onto our side and bend the knees. And then press your hands down and come up. And once again, let's go to downward facing dog posture. So place your hands on that chair or on that height. Tuck your toes under and stretch up and back. Tighten the knees, firm the thighs, spread the backs of the legs, stretch up the backs of the thighs, release your head and be in the posture. And then bend your knees to come down. So to unwind from this, we're going to do a couple of twists. So let's sit on a chair. If you want to do these sitting on the floor, you can. You can sit in Virasana. Otherwise, you're going to sit on a chair. Have your feet hip width apart. And we're going to turn to the right. So feet firmly placed on the floor, knees level, thighs parallel, and reach up. And then turn to your right. So your front hand's coming across to the outside of your leg, the other hand's coming onto the back of the chair, and you're using the back of the chair to help you to lever that shoulder back. And then you're reaching across with this front arm to bring this side of the back forwards and across. And center, then the other side. So feet down, arms up, exhale, turn. So spreading this left side, right side of your back forwards. Draw this left shoulder back. Again, as we come towards the end of the practice, get a sense of unwinding. So you're still very clear of what you're doing, but notice that there's a slightly different intention. So focus on your exhalation, on a sense of releasing any tension. So let's do it again. Bring your hands across. So there's this lovely lift you've got in your chest. Keep the front armpits lifting, but then feel that exhalation. So as if your face, the skin of your face is relaxing downwards, soft and smooth with that exhalation, but your chest is really bright like the sun. As if your face is the moon and your sun is the your chest is the sun. Turn, and the other side. Face like the moon, chest like the sun. Let your face reflect the brightness in your chest. just going to do Upavishta Konasana, wide leg seated pose. So sit up on a height. If you're stiff in the hips, you may need to sit on a bolster and take your legs out wide. So this is nice and cooling, and it helps to lengthen those inner thighs, contract the outer thighs, and gives loads of space in the belly, chest area. So once you've created the shape and got the legs pressing down, the sides of the trunk lifting, just breathe here. Feel the energy, feel that kind of openness of the base of the spine, of the lower area, the perineal area. Feel that connection to the earth, but then at the same time feel the sides of the neck lifting, top of the spine, connecting up to the sky. Allow your breathing to move, allow your body to breathe, allow the energy to move. Face quiet, body breathing, chest bright. Legs, come to cross legs. So we're going to lie down in this cross leg position. If you want to put a bolster for your back and a blanket for your head, feel free, but I'm just going to lie down flat. And the nice thing about lying flat is it does bring an opening in the pelvis. So lie down on your back, cross your legs, let your thighs roll out, and then rest your arms out by your side, or just a bit lower than the shoulders. So there's a lot of breadth. And then allow your face to soften, allow your eyes to relax, allow your jaw to relax, and feel a softening and a spreading. So perhaps you've noticed in this practice this morning how postures can be done to energize, to awaken, and they can also be done to soothe and soften. So during the active part of the class, see if there can still be an element of softening, just as in the more restorative postures. Make sure there's still some tone, that you've not just completely collapsed like into a solid sofa. And then bend your knees and change the cross in your legs. And again, rest here, feeling the aliveness in your body, allowing your body to breathe. So for those who would like a slightly stronger practice and have got a bit more time, you could now move on to shoulder stand, bridge pose, and some forward bends and Shavasana. But for the rest of us, let's now bring our arms to our side, and then bend the knees and bring your right knee into your chest, similar to what we did at the beginning, and stretch the left leg along the floor. If you've got tight knees, you can hold behind the knee to keep that space. Lengthen the thigh to lengthen the leg, the left leg, and then change legs. And then bend both knees into your chest. Or hold the backs of the thighs. Allow your back to spread. And then rest your feet on the floor. Roll to your side. So we're now coming to Shavasana. So take a bolster or folded blanket to put underneath your knees, or you can put your legs up on a chair. So that's what I'm going to do now. If your back is uncomfortable after the little back bend that we did, having your legs up on a support is particularly helpful. So lie down either with your legs on a bolster or your legs up on a chair, so that the leg bones rest down into the hips and your lower back spreads. And again, rest your arms out by your side. Alternatively, if you want to, you can just lie completely flat for those whose backs are quite comfortable and are used to doing those little back bends. So release your legs, release your arms, and feel your body as a whole. And then have the intention of softening, releasing, and letting go. Letting go of the grips in the head, those thoughts which can sometimes be quite stubborn, that sort of stick around. Just like we loosen up tight muscles, see if you can allow those things, those grippings, let them soften around the edges. So just as you release the tightness of a fist and allow your hands to uncurl like a flower opening to the sunshine, just allow any of those grippings in your mind. See if you can loosen the grip and allow it to open and release. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue, let your eyes soften. And breathe here. So I'm going to let you finish your Shavasana on your own. Just allow yourself to enjoy this being of Shavasana. You've done the doing. And now just be present with yourself as you are, with as much acceptance as you can muster.